Yes, today we're doing Surah 90. Last week we covered part 1, verses 1 to 10. Today we are doing part 2 and verses 11 through 20. And we'll start with Shazia.
Okay, sir. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فلقتها mal akaba, but he did not venture to scale the difficult steep. The words in the original are falaqtaha mal akaba. Iktiham means to apply oneself to a hard and toilsome task, and akaba is the steep path that passes through mountains or ascending heights. Thus, the verse means one of the two paths that we have shown him leads to height but is toilsome and steep. Man has to treat it against the desires of his self and the temptations of Satan. The other path is easy, which descends into chasms but does not require any toil from man. One only needs to give free reins to himself, then he automatically goes on rolling down the abyss. Now the man to whom we had shown both the paths adopted the easy downhill path and abandoned the toilsome path which leads to the heights. Uh, and what do you know what the difficult step is? It is freeing someone's neck from slavery
You
or
missed the
giving
Arabic.
food.
Read the Arabic.
Wama adraka mal akaba. And what do you know what that difficult step is? Fakku rakaba. It is freeing someone's neck from slavery. Aw it'amun fi yawmin zi masgaba, or giving food on a day of hunger. Yatiman za makraba, to an orphan near of kin. Aw miskinan za matraba, or to a destitute lying in dust.
Okay, very good, very good. So only one word here that I don't know how to say. I wasn't sure if you said it correctly or not.
Oh, chasms.
Okay, chasms.
So a chasm
sorry,
is like a really. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you say, Shazia?
Ma'am, I mispronounced this word. I said chasms.
Oh, okay, chasms. You know, I have heard it said like that too. I think it depends on the dialect. So I'm going to consult the dictionary for the ultimate say, because maybe let's see. Oh yeah, I guess some people say chasm, so that's
Yeah,
fine.
so
chasm. You were right.
Either way, you're okay.
Yeah.
And she was missing the Arabic. She probably doesn't know that one Jessica know all the alphabets now.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm still going to be really slow if I read it.
Have you started to put together the Arabic or not yet?
I'm starting to learn how to put the words together and the vowels, but I'm still very, very slow.
I'm gonna give you a pop quiz.
Oh, great. Okay, so that's wa.
There you go.
Wa ma da kama la kabata. Yeah, la kabata. Yeah, that wasn't very good.
No, that's pretty good. This is a connector. So mal akaba.
Mal akaba. Right, mal akaba. Right.
Yeah, I was actually, my quiz was just for one letter. So you went for extra credit.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you know,
Glad I got it.
In the beginning, you just got to get the alphabets down. Let's see here. Sumer. Let's go from here.
Okay, sir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Since in the foregoing verses, the extravagance of man which he indulges in for ostentation and expression of superiority to others have been mentioned. Now, Here it is being stated as to what expenditure of wealth it is, which leads man up to moral heights, instead of causing him to sink into moral depravity and perversion. But in this there is no enjoyment for the self. On the contrary, man has to exercise self restraints and make sacrifices. The expenditure is that one should set a slave free, or should render a slave monetary help so as to enable him to win his freedom by paying the ransom, or free a debtor from his debt, or secure release for a helpless person without means from penalties. Likewise, the expenditure is that one should feed a nearly related orphan, that is, an orphan who is either a relative or a neighbor who is hungry, and a needy, helpless person who might have been reduced to extreme poverty and might have none to support and help him. Helping such people does not win a person fame and reputation, nor feeding them brings him the admiration for being wealthy and generous, which one usually wins by holding banquets to thousands of well-to-do people. But the path to moral and spiritual heights passes on steep uphill roads only.
Yeah, right. A few words.
Okay, so I guess there was the S in extravagances. And then there's this.
Extravagances.
Yeah, there you go. Good job. And then there's this word ostentation.
Ostentation.
This is another like big word that most of the time American people don't use, but very rarely you'll hear someone say ostentatious, and that it's like a form of nashuz, you know, it's, as the Arabs would say, nashuz, to be ostentatious, yeah, or to have ostentation is to have vanity, it's to have audacity. It's just
to show off.
Yeah, to show off.
In Urdu, we word use dikhawa. You know, when we do something to show other people, hey, look at me, I'm rich, I got this, I got this, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next one, the next two words are essentially the same problem.
Okay. So the first word is debtor.
Mm-hmm.
Debtor.
Mm-hmm. And then the second word is debt.
Debt.
So
the noise.
So when Sumair read, he said debtor and debt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here the B is silent. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's a word English borrowed from French. I don't know. That's just a guess. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, I do know that the B is silent. But yes, debt is definitely a word you'll hear a lot in America if you come here. But debt is it means lacking money, or it means I guess more accurately, actually, it means you owe someone money. You have a debt.
So loan.
Yeah. So if Bilal gave me $50, and then I would be a debt to him, and I would owe him $50.
Yeah. So if I give it to Jessica, and so she can give it back to me.
Yeah. So I would have a debt.
A loan. If I just give it to her, or if Jessica just say, you know what, hey, you give me a loan for 50. That was nice. Here's $100 for you to help me out. Like, don't even worry about it.
Oh, that's wishful thinking.
But yeah, but you know, like that would be a grant. Right?
Uh-huh.
Like I give Jessica $50 and say, give it back to me. So I have given her a debt or a loan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Jessica gives me and she's like, she's like, oh, you helped me out. I'm gonna set a good example. She used $100 and say, hey, don't even worry about it. You keep it. She has given me a grant.
Oh yes, yes.
Okay. So loan, debt, grant. So loan or debt is something you expect back. Grant is something you do not expect. Next, Khadija.
Okay, sir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Great merits of the acts of virtue mentioned in these verses have been described by the Prophet, peace be upon him. For instance, about faku rakaba, freeing a neck from bondage. Many hadith have been related in the traditions, one of which is a tradition from Abu Huraira to the effect the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The person who set a believing slave free, Allah will save from fire of hell every limb of his body in lieu of every limb of the slave's body. The hand in lieu of the hand, the foot in lieu of the foot, the private parts in lieu of the private parts." Ali bin Hussein Zain al-Abidin asked Saad bin Marjana, the reporter of this hadith, "Did you hear it yourself from Abu Huraira?" When he replied in the affirmative, Zain al-Abidin called out his most valuable slave and set him free there and then. According to Muslim, he had an offer of 10,000 dirhams for the slave. On the basis of this verse, Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Shafi have ruled setting a slave free is superior to giving away charity. For Allah has mentioned it before the mention of charity. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, has mentioned the merits of rendering help to the needy in many hadith, one of which is this hadith from Abu Huraira. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The one who strives in the cause of rendering help to the widow and the needy is like the one who endeavors and strives in the cause of jihad for the sake of Allah." And Abu Huraira says, "I think that the Prophet, peace be upon him, also said, he is even like him who keeps standing up in the prayer constantly without ever taking rest, and like him who observes the fast continuously without ever breaking it." Bukhari Muslim.
Okay, thank you. So just one word here with question mark. I don't know how to say that either.
Where is the word? Oh, in lieu. Oh, or sorry, lieu.
Is it Liu, or what is it?
The way I've learned to say it is lieu. And we'll but yeah, basically in lieu of means it basically means instead of, like in its place. Yeah, it's like lieu, like LOO, lieu.
Yeah, well, you gotta be careful though. Liu, Lieu, means what was it? In place of?
Yeah, like in place or instead.
Okay, equals instead. And then there is another loo is equal to bathroom.
Oh yeah, go to the loo.
Yeah, so I think the people in the UK use that.
Yeah,
They're both.
people. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They both said the same way. So LIEU means instead. LOOLU is bathroom.
Yeah, they sound the same. But in the US, people don't use the word loo very much. I think that's more of a British thing.
Yeah.
They just call it the
Yeah, but
bathroom or the toilet.
yeah, it's like I like WC,
WC?
washing closet.
Oh yeah, you never hear. I didn't even know what that was. You never hear that in the US. I think bathroom is just the most common thing people say.
Yeah, bathroom or restroom.
Oh yes, restroom. That's right, restroom too.
Yeah, if you have shower in there, it's a bathroom. No shower means you're just. And then it's not a place to rest. Get in, get out. So I don't know why it's called restroom.
Yeah, that's the wrong word for it. I don't know why we picked that.
But anyways, moving on from that's from there.
Right.
Next, Musamma.
Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As for the orphans, there are numerous sayings reported from the Prophet, peace be upon him. Sal bin Sa'd has reported the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, I and the one who supports a nearly related of unrelated orphan shall stand in paradise like this. Saying this, he raised his index finger and the middle finger, keeping them a little apart. Bukhari. Abu Huraira has reported this saying of the Prophet, peace be upon him, the best among the Muslim homes is the home wherein an orphan is treated well, and the worst the one wherein an orphan is mistreated. Ibn Majah Bukhari in Al-Adab al-Mufrad. Abu Umama says that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, the one who passed his hand on the head of an orphan only for the sake of Allah will have as many acts of virtue recorded in his favor as the number of the hair on which his hand passed, and he and the one who treated an orphan boy or girl well will stand in paradise with me like this. Saying this, the Prophet, peace be upon him, joined his two fingers together. Musnad Ahmad Tirmidhi. Ibn Abbas says, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, the one who made an orphan join him in eating and drinking, Allah will make paradise obligatory for him unless he commits a sin which cannot be forgiven. Shar as Sunnah. Abu Huraira says, a man complained before the Prophet, peace be upon him, saying, I am hard-hearted. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said to him, treat the orphan with kindness and love and feed the needy one. Musnad Ahmad.
I wish these guys use apostrophe commas, but there was only one word. Good job, Muzammal.
Yeah, good job.
Is it obligatory, obligatory, or
I guess what I've learned is obligatory.
Okay.
Like you're saying,
Okay. I think that's what you read, Muzammal. I wasn't sure. So obligatory, right?
Yeah, obligatory.
Okay. All right. Next, Sania.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة. And then besides this, he be one of those who believed and enjoined upon one another steadfastness and enjoined upon one another compassion. That is, in addition to these qualities, it is essential that one should be a believer, for without faith no act is an act of virtue, nor acceptable in the sight of Allah. At numerous places in the Quran, it has been stated that only such an act of virtue is appreciable and becomes a means of salvation as is uh, accompanied by faith. In Surah An-Nisa, for example, it has been said, "The one who, the one who does good deeds, whether man or woman, provided that the one is a believer, will enter paradise." In Surah An-Nahl, whosoever does righteous deeds, whether male or female, provided that he is a believer, we shall surely grant him to live a pure life in this world, and we will reward such people in the hereafter according to their best deeds. In Surah Al-Mu'min, whoever does good deed does good, whether man or woman, provided that he is a believer, all such people shall enter paradise, wherein they shall be provided without measure. Whoever studies the Quran will see that in this book, wherever the good reward of a righteous act has been mentioned, it has always been made conditional upon the faith. A good act without faith has nowhere been regarded as acceptable to God, nor has any hope been given for a reward for it.
Okay, very good, very good. Just one word, Sania. I wrote the first form of it. How would you read the first form?
Yes, sir.
So,
Accompany.
Okay. So the second or third form would be what?
Second form will be accompanied.
Jessica, help us.
you're very close, but instead of night, it's need, accompanied.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, ma'am. Accompanied.
Yeah.
So just like the first form is accompanying.
Accompanied.
So then when you do the second form, that's something we studied. The Y becomes I. So accompanied. Okay.
Oh, there was one other word I heard. So I think when you said measure, I think I heard you say measure, like measure, but remember, I know it's weird, but it has an SH sound. Measure. So repeat after me. Measure.
Measure. Yes, ma'am. Measure.
Let's try again. You know that word SURE? Sure. Like that's a word in English. SURE. Sure. Like yes, certainly, sure. It looks like SURE, but it's pronounced sure, like with a SHUR. So can you try to say sure?
Sure.
Yeah. Now let's add the me in front of it, and let's say measure.
Okay, measure.
Let's try to like the sheen in Arabic. Measure.
Okay. Measure.
That's better. So to measure something is to see how much of it? What's the amount of it, right? Like, does someone, if you're baking a cake, I'm going to measure, I have 3 cups of water, I have three cups of flour, you know, just that's measure.
This is good to have an access to a whole new dictionary here of Arabic letters, Jessica.
Yeah, yeah, I can do what you do now. Sort of.
Here's I'm going to give you a quiz. So what are the 2 letters?
So that's so one is seen and one is so one's sa, right? The seen, and one's the sheen.
Yeah.
Sh.
And what are these?
Oh, so one's the ayn and one's the ghain.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So far, you're doing 100.
All right, sweet.
All right. So next, let's Shazit.
Here, the following important points should also not remain hidden from view. In this verse, it has not been said, "Then he believed," but "then being among those who have believed." This means that mere believing as an individual and remaining content with it is not what is desired. What is desired is that every new believer should join those who have already believed, so as to form a party of the believers, to bring about a believing society, which should work for establishing the virtues and wiping out the vices as demanded by the faith. Wiping out the vices as
Yeah,
demanded by the
keep on next.
These are 2 of the important characteristics of the believing society, which have been expressed in 2 brief sentences. The first characteristic is that its members should exhort one another to patience, and the second that they should exhort one another to compassion and mercy. As for patience, we have explained at many places that in view of the extensive meaning in which the Quran has used this word, the entire life of a believer is a life of patience. As soon as a man steps on the path of the faith, test of his patience starts. Patience is required to be exercised in performing the acts of worship enjoined by Allah. Patience is needed in carrying out the commands of Allah. Abstention from the things forbidden by Allah is not possible without patience. Patience is needed in abandoning the moral evils and in adopting the pure morals. Not possible morals, temptations to sin faced at every step can be resisted only by resource to patience. On countless occasions in life, obedience to God's law entails losses, troubles, hardships, and deprivations, and disobedience to the law seems to bring benefits and pleasures. Without patience, no believer can fare well on such occasions. Then, as soon as a believer has adopted the way of the faith, he has to meet with resistance not only from his own self and personal desires, but also from his children, family, society, country, and nation. so much so that he is even required to abandon his country and undertake jihad in the cause of God.
Okay, few words. So you corrected them. I think this on the second go, but let's go through them.
Okay. So yes. So this is wiping.
So repeat.
Wiping,
Yeah, wiping. So to, I guess, when you're wiping something away, you're kind of like pushing it away, I guess.
Like, for example, you could wipe your tears. Okay. Or you could wipe the floor with a wiper.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of wiper.
Yeah. So it's like to
So
push or
wiping
clean.
out. Yeah, so wiping out the vices mean wiping out the bad things, cleaning the bad things. It's like,
Yeah.
back home we have a lot of times we have terrazzo floors in Pakistan, so people use a wiper to wipe the dirt
Oh, okay.
with water. So we don't have in the US we have mostly hardwood floors or that vinyl stuff these days. So anyways, next word.
So the next word is vices.
vices,
Yeah, so a vice is like a temptation or like a guilty pleasure. Like if someone likes to drink alcohol, their vice is alcohol. Or if they like to smoke cigarettes, their vice is cigarettes. It's a maybe like a bad thing they like doing. So I think practicing wipe and vice is a good way to practice the difference between W and V. All right, so there's a check over abandoning. So I guess you fix that. And then there's this word morals, and you did fix it, but let's just try to say it one time. Morals.
morals,
Yeah, so I guess there's a difference between morale and morals. And so this word is morals, and it's like your virtues or your values. So yeah, so the first one, moral, yeah, is a value or your virtue. The second one, Bilal just wrote, is morale, and it's kind of like people's feelings, I guess. Like if you have a bunch of employees, if they have good morale, they're feeling good, they're happy about working for you. If they have bad morale, it means they're kind of like feeling bad and they're not happy where they are. And then morel, moral, like that one. What is that one? You have to remind me.
I think it's mushrooms.
Oh yeah, it's like a kind like that one I didn't even know, but yeah, I looked it up. It's a kind of mushroom. Okay.
So if you watch some cooking shows, which I occasionally watch, they'll
Okay.
talk about morals. Okay, next. So morale, and morale. Okay, next.
Okay. So the next word is recourse.
You might be having some trouble listening to it. So recourse.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like the word course, but with re in front of it. So recourse. It's like a source of help in a difficult situation, or a source or something helpful. The next word is entails.
So it's like details, right? So entails.
Yeah. So it's like you take the tail of a creature. It sounds like that word tail, but it has N in front of it. So entails. It's one of those words I know what it means, but I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. God's law entails losses. I guess is it maybe entail is like it means or it suggests. Contains.
Okay, so entails, and the last one.
And then the last word is abandon. So that's to leave behind.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess entails. I was just looking up a better definition of what I was explaining. Another explanation of it is it involves.
Okay. Next, let's go with Sania.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Under all these conditions, only the quality of patience can cause a man to remain steadfast to principles. Now, obviously, if every believer individually was put to such a hard test, he would be faced with the danger of defeat at every step and would hardly be able to pass through the test successfully. On the contrary, if there existed a believing society, every member of which was not only himself possessed of patience, but all its members also were supporting one another mutually in the test of patience, successes would fall to its lot. A tremendous power would be generated to face the evil. A mighty force of good individuals would be ready to help bring the entire society on the path of virtue and righteousness. As for mercy and compassion, it is the distinctive feature of the society of believers that they are not a merciless and unjust people, but a society whose members are merciful and compassionate to humanity at large and sympathetic and friendly among themselves. A believer as an individual is an embodiment of Allah's quality of uh, mercy, and the group of the believers as a party also is representative of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, who has been described thus: O Muhammad, peace be upon him, we have sent you to be a real blessing for the people of the world. Surah Al-Anbiya, Ayat 107. The highest moral quality which the Messenger, peace be upon him, tried his utmost to inculcate. Uh, oh, where is this? Inculcate among his followers was this very quality of mercy. Consider the consider the following consider the following of his sayings, which show what importance he attached to it. Jarir bin Abdullah says that the Messenger, peace be upon him, said, Allah does not show mercy to him who does not show mercy to others. Bukhari Muslim.
Okay, very good. So only one word.
Okay, so I actually see two words, but the first word I see is merciless.
Merciless.
Yeah. So do you know the word mercy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so mercy is compassion, but merciless is the opposite of that. It means no compassion, no sympathy.
Sir, ma'am, can we say compassionless?
Compassionless. That's not really something I hear. I think merciless is more common.
Yeah. So you have to so these few words which mean no. Like less means no. You also have. So you will say incompassionate. Somebody can be incompassionate, so without compassion.
Yeah, that would be better. Incompassionate.
So when you say compassion, you say, and you want to use that negative word, it's incompassionate. It's not compassionless. So same thing, negative, or when somebody lacking something, in case of mercy, is merciless.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with familiarity, you will realize where you have to use which one. It's very confusing, but over time it comes to you that okay, where which suffix or prefix is used for negative conversion. Okay, the next one is. Can't hear you, Jessica.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Inculcate.
Okay, inculcate.
Yeah, and don't worry, that's not a word. People don't use that word very much, or at least not that I hear. But it means to instill or to teach, to give certain values. I guess if you're inculcating values, you're teaching them, you're instilling them. Okay.
You're making them strong. So, okay. Next. Let's go with Musammal.
Okay, sir. Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As says that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The Rahman, merciful, shows mercy to those who show mercy to others. Show mercy to those who live on the earth. The one who is in heaven will show mercy to you." Abu Dawud Tirmidhi. Abu Sa'id Khudri has reported that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The one who does not show mercy is not shown mercy." Bukhari in Al-Adab al-Mufrad. Ibn Abbas says that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The one who does not treat our young ones mercifully and does not treat our elderly ones respectfully does not belong to us." Tirmidhi.
Okay. Very good. Shazia.
Yeah, very good.
Shazia.
Okay, sir. Abu Dawud has related the same saying of the Prophet, peace be upon him, on the authority of Abdullah bin Amr. Thus, the one who did not feel pity on our young and did not respect our elderly does not belong to us. Abu Huraira says, I have heard Abdul Qasim, the truthful, peace be upon him, say, "The heart of the wretched one is deprived of the quality of mercy altogether." Musnad Ahmad Tirmidhi.
One word.
Okay. So repeat after me. Pity.
Pity.
Yeah, so to have pity is to have like sympathy. It's to feel sorry for someone. And I guess the word you read was piety, which Bilal just wrote. So piety is like someone's religiosity. Someone who goes to the masjid every Friday has a lot of piety, you know. They have a strong belief in God, and they do all the religious things they're supposed to do.
So somebody who will do the prayer 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in between the prayers he remains. His actions are also according to those prayers.
Mm-hmm.
So you do the acts of the prayer, and then you follow it in your acts with humanity. Okay. Next, Khadija.
Ayad bin Himad relates that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Three kinds of men belong to paradise. One of whom is the person who is kind and compassionate to every relative and every Muslim. Nu'man bin Bashir has reported that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "You will find the believers like a body in the matter of mutual kindness, love, and sympathy, so that if one part of the body suffers, the whole body suffers and becomes restless because of it." Bukhari Muslim.
Okay, very good. And then Sumer.
Abu Musa al-Ashari says that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The believer is for the other believer like a wall, each part of which supports and strengthens the other part." Bukhari Muslim. Abdullah bin Umar has reported that the Prophet said, "A Muslim is a brother of the other Muslim, neither treats him unjustly or nor withholds his help from him. The person who works to fulfill a need of his brother, Allah will Allah will seek to fulfill his need. And the one who rescues a Muslim from an affliction, Allah will rescue him from an affliction of the afflictions of the resurrection day. And the one who conceals the fault of a Muslim, Allah will conceal his fault on the resurrection day. Bukhari Muslim. These traditions indicate what kind of a society is envisaged by Quranic instruction given in this verse, which exhorts the righteous people to join the group of the believers after they have affirmed the faith.
Okay, very good. A few words, 2 words.
Oh, sorry. So the first word I see is support.
Support,
Yeah, support versus sport. I think we talked about this word before, but support is like to give help or assistance. Yeah.
Okay.
And did you guys know if you go to dictionary.com and you press, it tells you how to pronounce the words? I was just sharing that fact. Like,
is it dictionary or Google or both?
I guess both, but the dictionary also like I looked up envisage just to double check.
Envisage.
Yeah. Envisaged. So the next word is envisaged.
envisaged,
Yeah, so that's not a word. I had to look it up because I don't hear it a lot. And I didn't want to say the wrong thing. But it's basically to like to contemplate, to conceive, to foresee, to predict.
Ma'am, can we say to assume?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Ma'am, I said, can we say to assume?
I don't think it's assume. It's more like you have a vision. Like this is what I foresee in the future. This is what I think is coming. This is my prediction, or to conceive of something.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. Yeah. So this is much strong. Assume is just fairly a weak assertion about future. And when you foresee something, when you envisage something, it's much stronger. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost at the end. So, Shazia, you want to finish the last few verses?
Sure, sir. Ulaika ashabul maymana. These are the people of the right hand. والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة. As for those who rejected our signs, they are the people of the left hand. For an explanation of the people of the right hand and the left hand, see and notes 5-6 of Surah Al-Waqiah. Alayhim narum musada. Upon them shall be a fire that will hem them in. That is, fire will be so covering them from every side that they will find no way of escape from it.
Very good. Okay. So that brings us to the end of Surah 90.